Yes, it's working. The box is activating. I can feel its pull.
There's keeping on.
The monster is too strong. Quick, give me your power or I'll be pulled in.
You really think I'm that stupid?
No, I'll kill you! You will regret this!
Takida melaswe sama word sign in meremnai saigatrawa digay.
Khem Val was a member of the Dashade species, a species that was known for being brutally good at killing Force users. Unlike trandhosans or mandalorians, who might fight a Force user to prove themselves, a Dashade is different. They kill Force users so they can eat or devour them, literally and physically. This gave them an intimidating and fearsome reputation among the galaxy. The homeworld of the Dashade was named Urkupp. However, this planet was destroyed during the Great Sith War that followed Marka Ragnos' death. That particular event happened in the year of 3996 BBY, when a Sith Lord named Alima Kito used their powers of the dark side to make a star go supernova. The following catastrophe wiped out many worlds, including the homeworld of the Dashade. The Sith who conjured the magics also perished in the aftermath. The story of Kem Val begins within the time of Tulak Hord. We don't have a specific date for his birth, we only know that it was sometime before 5000 BBY. This predates even Marka Ragnos' reign of the Sith. During Tulak Hord's reign, and before, Kem Val served this Dark Lord as a shadow warrior and companion. Kem and Tulak duelled back when they first met on his homeworld of Urkupp. When Tulak won the duel, he earned the Dashade's loyalty. Together, they won countless battles, and Kem was allowed to feast on all those who were Force sensitive. It's rumoured that Kem killed Force users in their thousands during their campaign. Tulak Hord's apprentice, Orton Sealer, also had a Dashade companion known as Veshik Urk. This Dashade was also the rival of Khem Val. However, Kem did not feel the same way. Khem Val saw Veshik not as a rival, but as a weakling slave. Eventually, many rivals and enemies were seeking to destroy Tulak Hord, so in an effort to keep his greatest warrior safe from his rivals, Tulak ordered that Khem Val be placed in stasis until he is called upon once again. Kem's stasis chamber became widely known to be housed within the tomb of Naga Sadow. However, this is a continuity error. In fact, Naga Sadow's resting place was not established until after his death many years later, meaning that the Dashade, Khem Val, was hidden away in a construction that was somehow connected to a tomb that did not exist yet. Either Tulak Hord's predictions capability were impeccable, or the story writers for Star Wars The Old Republic did not consider the date of Naga Sadow's timeline and error. It wasn't until nearly over 1000 years later when a nameless Sith acolyte discovered Khem Val and was freed from his stasis. When Kem awakens, he learns his former master Tulak Hord is now dead. Despite being in stasis for so long, Kem lashes out and is able to escape from the stasis prison. This implies that Kem had the strength to leave any time he wanted, but chose to stay and wait for his master's return. However, he succumbs to the acolyte and is forced to offer his servitude once again, but this time it wouldn't be so willingly. Kem had been brought back to a not so different life. He was once again to serve a Sith and aid them with their endeavours. However, his true loyalty still lied with Tulak Hord, and he longed for revenge against those who betrayed him. Kem would even idly threaten the new Sith he served on occasion. The world he lived in now was full of Force users at near every corner. Kem had to be stopped by his new Sith master time to time before he got too much into the role of a deadly Dashade. However, he was allowed to indulge on some Force users his master approved of, or was instructed to kill first.
Eat them both, Kem.
Don't be that way, son.
Keep your pet at bay for just a moment, Acolyte.
Kem, What is it you do to Force users again?
Gibay iswis aman hangwijins.
Tosin, is that a Dashade? Maybe this isn't such a good idea.
Izose waitai spila presin kretai. In pise e wanata atragata intais.
The Dashade would continue his new life under the service of his new master, who was an up-and-coming Sith apprentice. Because the Acolyte defeated Kem, he was now bound to serve him and obey his orders. The relationship was even enforced by a type of Force bond. Kem only idolized Tulak Hord and would spend much time reminding the Sith he served now that they are a little Sith and mean nothing in the grand scheme of things. For all intents and purposes, Kem is acting in a very depressed manner. He is distraught and his real master is gone, and now the galaxy has changed. His former life offered him glory and feasts alongside Tulak Hord. The fact that Khem Val idolized Tulak so much is a testament to the power level of the ancient Sith. Tulak had inspired loyalty in Kem, unlike his new Sith master, who just forced him into servitude. Although Khem Val did think this way on most occasions, as the Sith apprentice grew stronger, Kem begins to warm up to his service. When the new master allows Kem to feast and even encourages his basic behaviour, Kem will start to understand that he actually has a role to play. However, this progress is completely hindered when the Sith's own master betrays them. A Sith known as Darth Zash had tricked Kem's master into attending a ritual which would have their physical body stolen. In fact, Kem suspected betrayal and warned his master long before this event that Darth Zash's mouth stank of Sith lies. Despite the warnings, Kem and his master attended this ritual. However, Khem Val was able to interrupt Darth Zash and stop the ritual. Or at least, that's what he thought would happen. Because Kem had attacked Zash during the process, somehow his own body had been infiltrated by Darth Zash, who originally intended to steal the body of her Sith apprentice. When Darth Zash realizes she's inside the Dashade's body, she attempts to attack the Sith. However, due to the bond between master and servant and its enforcement through the Force, she was unable to harm the Sith at all. Khem Val was able to retake control, and he becomes very displeased with the outcome. Kem did not want to share his body with the Sith he called a witch. With Darth Zash now out of the way essentially, Kem's master becomes a more powerful figure within the Sith. They also become the targets of another Sith Lord named Darth Thanaton. The Dashade does his best to serve his Sith master as they constantly roam the galaxy in search of new power. During the entire time, Kem and Zash still had to share a body. There was no immediate way for them to be separated, and for now, Khem Val seemed to maintain the most control. Eventually, Khem Val was able to discover an old Jedi record that stated his old rival, Veshik Urk, was also held in stasis for some time and was dead when discovered. Kem states that if he were free of his master's service, then he would hunt those Jedi down and feast on them for revenge. Kem didn't have any attachment to Veshik, but he did acknowledge that they were once bound by duty to the Sith of their time. However, Veshik's master of the time was a Sith named Orton Sealer. Khem Val believed that Veshik allowed Orton Sealer to make him a slave, whereas he and Tulak Hord were partners in crime. Ironically, Khem Val now lived that life of slavery under his new master, a master he did not approve of. Yet. When Kem's master spends enough time with him to have a conversation, you can learn that Kem personally helped Tulak Hord on his ascension to Dark Lord of the Sith. Together, they slayed entire armies and claimed victory in almost every scenario. You could say Khem Val worships Tulak Hord as a god almost. However, as time goes on, Kem begins to understand that his master had left him behind and that now life had taken a cruel turn. Once again, this was a form of depression that we see within a giant hulking monster, a being who lacks the fundamental will to live due to the loss of his master, the feelings of abandonment, and most of all, the feeling of failure. Failure to help his true master in his time of most desperate need. Eventually, Kem will receive a communication from a cloaked figure who tells him that Veshik Urk lives on Tatooine. After bringing this information to his master, they both agree to go to Tatooine so Khem Val can get some closure from the last people around him from the time before. When they arrive, they easily discover Veshik in a hut upon the Dune Sea. Veshik was alive and present and was even accompanied by 2 Sith followers. After a brief catch-up with Kem and some mild taunts, the 2 Dashades quickly turn to violence. Their rivalry had lasted for over 1,000 years, and now they were able to clash. Of course, Khem Val proved to be the superior, as he always knew himself to be anyways. At this point, Khem Val truly begins to see the light in his service to the new master. Once again, however, that light would be sullied by the all-consuming presence of Darth Zash within his body. Kem states to his master that if something isn't done about it, then he's going to rampage on the ship and kill everyone on board. This was just a mere furtive action though. Not too long after this, Khem Val awakens from a slumber that delivered him a vision of his old master's bones, Tulak Hord, being desecrated. Khem Val tells his new master this and explains that he cannot stand by as someone fouls his old master's remains. Together, they both discover that Darth Zash had been the one to do this. She had taken control of Kem's body and planted the bones in her personal stash on Hoth. When Khem Val interacts with the remains, it somehow weakens his mental state, and this allows Darth Zash to take control more often and for longer periods of time. So the entire thing was a trap for Khem Val, so Zash could have more time to research a way to escape or take control. When Khem Val is eventually able to talk to his master again, he asks that they try to discover what Zash is up to, so they can stop her once and for all. When Kem and his master agree, Kem allows Zash to take control so the Sith can question her. What they find out is that Zash knows of a Rakatan artifact that can lock away an essence. She intended to do this to Kem so she could take final control of the body. The Sith Master can choose to aid or refuse Zash. The best course of action is to help obtain the box and then allow Zash and Kem to fight mentally between themselves for control without interfering. Khem Val even approves of this action. This is likely because he constantly stated that he would destroy the witch himself. After the use of the Rakatan box they found on Taris, Darth Zash is successfully expelled and imprisoned into the artifact. Khem Val's appreciation of this is eternal, and from this point forward, he serves you faithfully and even begins to climb away from his depression and trauma. However, if you choose to aid Lord Zash and not Khem Val, eventually this will result in Khem Val finding a way to seek revenge upon you within the Flashpoint, the Nathema conspiracy. The same can be said for Zash if you help the Dashade. With his mind now free from the witch Zash, Kem and the Sith, who is now a Dark Council member, continue on their exploits across the galaxy. After the Eternal raids and the capture of his master at the hands of the Eternal family, the Dashade went on his own personal journey. The game SWTOR leads us to believe that in his master's absence, Kem had been hunting and killing Jedi mainly on the world of Orsus, which he calls the Red World. When the Outlander finally reunites with their Dashade companion, they learn that Kem has forever respected them and that now he no longer seeks to hunt, but instead to bond. After so much time of killing and conflict, the Dashade finally sought love, the final component of his happy ending. Hey everyone, thank you once again for checking out another explained video. I would really appreciate it if you would hit the thumbs up on this video and please subscribe to the channel. We have so much more coming very soon. I'm really glad that you guys are enjoying these videos and I have no intention on stopping anytime soon. So please subscribe, support the channel. Thank you very much. I'll catch you guys next time.